Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we have a lot to tell you about. Among them, the city will see some great transportation improvements along Charleston, and you'll meet the new captain of Metro's Boulden Area Command. Here to talk about these topics and a whole lot more is our Mayor Pro Tem, Branden Knudsen, who represents Ward 1. Welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you doing? Are you surviving the summer heat?
It's been hot. I'm not going to lie. It's really hot. This is too hot for me.
It's been a Vegas summer for sure.
Yeah.
So
June was wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're into August now, and yeah, it's just part of the deal. But you know, September's coming. It's not.
It'll be fine.
Exactly.
We'll survive.
Exactly. Mayor Pro Tem, you represent Ward 1, as we mentioned. You know the area very well. For those of you out there not exactly sure where we're talking about in the city, well, we're going to show you. It's basically that area, of course, that has the one on it appropriately enough. But it's an interesting ward, Mayor Pro Tem, because you go really from just to the west of the downtown, but clear out to basically to the northwest now.
It's a very diverse ward, and it looks like a reindeer on the map.
It does. It really does. Kind of makes the curve with US 95 there. So if you live in that area or work in that area, of course, then you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you're a resident, you're represented on the council by our Mayor Pro Tem, who is Branden Knudsen. So one of the things we've talked about a lot in this program is the Charleston corridor. A lot of work going on in there. Rancho seeing work as well. That whole area. It's kind of pardon our dust, and you had shared on Facebook, this was good. You said, even more great news hitting the Las Vegas Medical District, which is great to hear. The Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada is receiving a $5.86 million raise grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation for improved transit on Charleston Boulevard that will enhance safety, equity, and access for the thousands of residents and businesses in the corridor. That's the good news. Now we just got to get everything wrapped up.
It's complicated. So I've talked about this on the show before, but transit is how we move people around, which is very important. If you need to go to school, like CSN is on the Charleston corridor. If you need health care, you have the medical district, which is on the Charleston corridor. And then you have dozens, if not hundreds, of small businesses along the Charleston corridor. So I think as a city, and I also represent the Regional Transportation Commission, we have an obligation to move people as quickly and as efficiently as we possibly can. And so this is another avenue to explore how we can move people really from downtown Summerlin into downtown Las Vegas and even further east. So I'm excited. I'm very proud of the RTC. They put a lot of energy and effort into this, and it's because we at the city said Charleston is a major corridor. It's the busiest corridor in the entire valley. We have to prioritize it. So the RTC and all the jurisdictions have been focusing in on Maryland Parkway, really going from UNLV into downtown Las Vegas and the medical district. The next major corridor is going to be the Charleston corridor, and I'm firmly committed to making sure that there's better transit options. It's healthier for the environment, it's safer for the people walking and driving, and it's good for business.
Yeah, for sure. UNLV Medical School is there. The hospitals are located in that area. It's really growing, and so the need for people to be able to get in and out of there easily, along with all the other businesses that are up and down the corridor, and the residences that are up and down that corridor. Yeah, but you're thinking ahead. That's great.
Don't forget, and people always think that everything will stay as is, but our population is expected to grow by a few 100,000 over the next 15 years. We have to plan for that, and that's part of government's role, is to think ahead. So while it may seem daunting and challenging, and you don't want things to change right now, it's going to change whether we want it to or not. Our job is to prepare for that.
Right. Well, we saw those pictures were in the medical district, hanging some banners, which is right there on that Charleston corridor. Work there, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem. Charleston was seeing lots of construction. Rancho, where are we with all that now? So
Charleston is really under construction, and I want to encourage all of the viewers out there, if you drive that Charleston corridor regularly, you know it's under construction. Maybe you're avoiding it right now. Please don't avoid the small businesses. There's lots of businesses within that corridor that desperately need business. The city's put some signs up to remind people that there are businesses going. It's still open for business, but that's really important to me. We want to keep those businesses going. Construction will wrap up in 9 months or so, and then we'll move on to the Rancho corridor. It's a lot of construction, but it's going to be significantly improved and better access for people, safer for people. That Charleston Rancho intersection is really one of the most deadliest and dangerous in our entire state. And so this is preemptive work to make it safer for our entire community.
Excellent work there. So, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, along the lines of business, you made a couple of appearances. This is good. We like when business is going and thriving. It keeps the economy humming here. You shared on Twitter, you said, thank you to the Las Vegas Chamber for the wonderful opportunity to address their esteemed members today. I had an insightful discussion on the future of local government policies and their impact on small businesses throughout the Las Vegas Valley. This is something you've talked about since being elected to office, making sure that government and business and the residents are in sync, not in conflict with one another.
Yeah, I love working with the business community, and the Vegas Chamber and has done a great job of getting those small businesses a voice. And so being on the outside of the city and being on the inside of the city, I think the private sector pushing against the city is very healthy. And given the fact that we have a new city manager, we have a new city attorney, we're switching out some of our leadership team in the city of Las Vegas. I've been actively pushing our chambers of commerce to say you need to be actively engaged in what's going on at the city right now, and pushing and pulling and saying what's best for business. And that's our job as elected officials, I think, is to listen and work with the management team to produce the best environment we can for business to grow. Yeah,
well, good for you. Good for you. That's obviously creates a great environment, makes people want to locate here, makes people want to live here, not just visit. So, and when we can diversify the economy like that, that's obviously a good thing for our future. Well, along those same lines, you met with another group. You said this on Twitter, said, grateful for the warm reception and engaging discussion at today's Lambda Las Vegas luncheon. Thank you for the opportunity to address the vibrant LGBTQ plus business community in Las Vegas. It's inspiring to witness the entrepreneurial spirit and resilience on display. And again, discussion here about helping small business primarily.
This is about helping small businesses. What is the role of local government? What are the challenges? So I went through in my head what a SWOT analysis is of the city right now. Lots of changes at the city. The one thing that comes up in every conversation, every single conversation I have right now is what is the city's role in working with those who are unhoused? And they're having a huge impact on businesses in our community. They're having a huge impact on cleanliness in our city. Right. And it's a very complicated conversation. So in the next segment, we'll have a captain from Boulden Area Command, Captain Clarkson, on, and I think that's part of the conversation is how we work through some of these very challenging times within Las Vegas to make sure that our businesses are thriving.
Yeah. It's growing pains. Our city's growing. We're a major metropolitan city. I came here many years ago. We were much smaller.
It's different.
And with the big city come big city problems, and that's what we're trying to work through. So we've got good people that are on the job trying to take care of it. So, and then Councilman Mayor Pro Tem, I love this. More on the lighter side, you posted this on Facebook. You said, one of the fun parts of my job is checking in with our local seniors at the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority Sartini Plaza property, where I get to call bingo. And this is very competitive. I know that you better get those numbers right.
I do that at multiple facilities, and it's really stressful. Out of everything I do, it's probably the most stressful, because if you call it wrong, or there's multiple winners and you only have one prize left, like they know what's going on.
We're taking you out, Mayor Pro Tem.
It's scary. So if you want one row or you want to do the whole card and you call it wrong and someone swipes away all their stuff, then it's a mess if you screw it up.
It requires great accuracy.
Yes, I have to train for it. I have to breathe through it. It's a lot.
Well, good for you for getting out there. That was back on July 1 that you were out there. That group, I think they really appreciate, you never forget them, whether it's during the summer, the holiday time, all throughout the year.
They're fun, and they all know me, and I know all them. Yeah. It's super fun to go and check in on them.
Good for you. Good for you. And switching gears a little bit to public safety, you had shared on Twitter a big thank you to Captain Pennick and his amazing team at Fire Station 1 for allowing me to ride along with them today. It's inspiring to get time with those who serve and protect us from the unpredictable, like fires and disasters. Thanks, Las Vegas firefighters, for all that you do. And here you are. I understand you're going on calls here. It looks like that. It looks like a medical call.
Yeah, so I do ride-alongs a lot. I think it's the most useful.
Putting out a fire here?
I did get to help put out a fire. It's the most useful expenditure of time for me, because I think there's some like we talked about earlier, there's some very serious policy issues that need to be addressed in local government. And it's hard to know exactly how to be effective unless you know what's happening on the ground. So I spend a lot of time with first responders, with our deputy city marshals, I need to do animal control. I've done one ride-along. I should probably do another. I should do another one. But going along with fire and rescue, and this particular picture was from Station 1. It was the busiest I've been We had 5 medical calls and 1 fire call. It was very busy.
Fire Station 1 is one of the busiest fire stations in the entire country.
And I was jumping from truck to truck because it was multiple units going out. So it's just helpful to know what's happening on the street, because you can talk about it all day long on TV, but unless you're there seeing how our first responders are dealing with it and what's happening, it's hard to figure out how to be effective.
Fire Station 1, for those of you maybe not familiar, it's right there next to US 95, Casino Center. Basically, if you're driving by on 95, it's just right there on the north side of the highway. So, well, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, this is a perfect segue into our next guest. As we stick to the topic of public safety, we need to take a short break, but when we return, we're going to be joined by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's Captain Branden Clarkson, who recently took the helm at the Boulden Area Command. That's next, so please stay with us.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Welcome back, everyone. There's a new captain at Metro's Boulden Area Command. He's Branden Clarkson, and he joins us now. And Mayor Pro Tem, first of all, Branden, Captain Clarkson, thanks so much for joining us. And Mayor Pro Tem, I understand you did a little ride-along with...
Well, I do ride-alongs all the time with Metro, but the captain here is brand new to Boulden, and so I think it's important for constituents to know who's at Boulden, because when they call 311 or they're calling 911, the response they're going to get is somebody that works for this guy here. Yeah. And it's also really important that the city and Metropolitan Police Department have a good relationship. We're not only the funding partner, but we're partners in everything that we do. Sure. And so far in the 2 months on the job, yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, he's just been great, responsive, ready to go, and thoughtful about how we approach crime, at least in the area that I represent.
Well, Captain Clarkson, Branden, congratulations on the new job.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here today. I know that part of the deal is trying to get to know the community. What are some of the things that, as the new captain, you hope to try to accomplish at the Boulden Area Command?
So, part of what I want to accomplish is just I want to get to know everyone, right? The coolest thing about Boulden Area Command is just it's really a very tight community. It's the historical West Side. There's a lot of proactive people that want to partner. They want to work on making the community better, you know. And it's been honestly, it's just. It gives you a sense of energy and it's fun to work with the different community partners and then working with our officers and see, just like the councilman said, how we all work together and make our area, our little slice of the pie, a little bit better.
Tell a little bit about your career. You've got a varying background at Metro. You've been with Metro how many years now?
So it's going on 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
So, and you've had various assignments through the years. Give us a little idea of some of what you've done. It's impressive.
Right. So I've had a great opportunity to do lots of things, and that's the great thing about Metro. If you're ever thinking about a job with Metro, is that there's so many different things to do, and here's a snapshot of it. I started off in patrol, working South Central Area Command in the Strip. and promoted to sergeant. Did the field training program for a while. Went to the gang unit, and after the gang unit, we started the Office of Community Engagement, and that's where it really kick-started my love for working with the community and all the different aspects and how all the pieces fit together. Because what you find in Las Vegas is that really people want to make this community great, and we're such a melting pot and of different people, different ideas, and it makes it great. And then from there, I went to our MACTAC section, which is the Multi-Assault Counterterrorism Action Capability section.
It's an important team. Yeah.
Right. So, and essentially that job was to educate and train our officers, our firefighters, our first responders, and our community critical infrastructure for a mass casualty incident. And we had one October while it was there, and it was near and dear to my heart. I have an identical twin brother, as you know,
I very much recall.
That was working that event at 1 October, So very important work. And then I promoted to lieutenant. I went to the K9. I was the K9 lieutenant for a while. Then did some investigative units, went to narcotics, then promoted to captain.
Wow.
Went to major violators narcotics, and then I got chosen to be the Boulden Area Command captain, and I couldn't be more happy. Just the energy and working around these cops that love this community in Boulden Area Command. It's just
you guys do Little League and everything. It's pretty cool.
There's so many things. It's been great.
And by the way, Branden, we have a German Shepherd, so I just thought I'd just share that with you.
I bet you're loving the hair right now, the shedding.
It's everywhere, but hey, we love her. So
no, absolutely.
Mayor Pro Tem, I think one of the things we love to work with Metro is the partnership. You hear things from the community, they're hearing things from the community. Talk a little bit about that. You've had some incidents just recently where people are concerned about things going on bump in the night, literally, right?
So we kind of just talked about this, is Las Vegas is becoming a very big city, and we're kind of evolving into that and trying to figure out how best to resolve some of these most complicated issues. Some of the overflow of that are people who are unhoused generally. They're struggling with some mental health or addiction issues, and they're wandering into neighborhoods, generally out of the downtown core. So I have 5 or 6 neighborhoods. They're wandering in, they're knocking on doors, they're scaring people. Sometimes they're picking stuff up and taking it with them. And so that's generally the most common request or complaint I get. And so I'm going to give my advice, and then I'll let the captain talk some advice.
Both of you.
So I say be very vigilant. Make sure you're calling 311 or 911 if it's an emergency. Make sure you're calling parking enforcement if there's cars that don't belong there. Make sure you're calling code enforcement if houses are not meeting code. And if those things aren't working for you, text or call me, because we want to make sure that we're very vigilant in those neighborhoods. It's the best way to protect yourself. Also, you want to make sure that if you don't know your neighbors, get to know your neighbors. The best thing you can do as a neighborhood is to know each other. And in my neighborhoods that I represent, a lot of the neighborhoods are very socially active on Facebook or another social media. And so if they see something someone that doesn't belong, they're sending out pictures, they're letting everybody know. It's creating some fear in the neighborhoods. I think that's okay. We don't want fear to override or overcome or make people move out, but we do need to be vigilant about what's going on and protecting our neighborhood.
Get to know your neighbor, work with your neighbor. You guys, we're all in this together.
It's the only way it works. It's a partnership. And so from your perspective, Captain, what do you think people should do? Well,
I think you said all the right things there. Calling 311 or 911 if it's an emergency, and sharing that information, because when you share the knowledge, it reduces the fear, right? And so when people are more educated about it, it's absolutely important. So the upside is that when you call 911 or 311 or report suspicious activity, we get to go in there, we gather intelligence if there's issues, right? And like you mentioned, some of the unhoused, they're suffering from mental issues or addiction, and for us to come in contact with them, you never know when there's an opportunity to engage with somebody that's the point in time that we can get them the help that they need to get them away from the addiction or help them with the mental health issue. Our agency has a lot of different programs and partnerships that we do to help that. And so as far as like any suspicious behavior or people that are looking to, nefarious activities or the bump in the night that you mentioned, neighborhood watches. I know it's kind of maybe an old thought, but it's a new thing that we keep trying to push. And the benefit is that it brings the community together. It fast tracks that relationship where you can communicate that, and it works with our crime prevention specialists. The great thing about Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department is that every area command has a crime prevention specialist. Where they'll partner, they'll educate, they'll get the resources in to start up this program, that communication, and then all that information too can get relayed to our community-oriented policing section and work on those specific problems with that community. And so it's a team lift is what the best thing that I can describe it. And our partnership with the councilman has been great, because if there's an issue on both sides, if like, hey, we're seeing this, or hey, I have some constituents calling in reference this, it's that constant communication. And you know, and without that communication, you know, that knowledge base
doesn't go anywhere.
Right, and so you know, the rise and fall of organizations and societies is, you know, surrounded by communication. So I've appreciated it since I've been here. It's been very, very engaged.
And I just want to say, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be meeting at Boulden Area Command to talk about how we can be proactive, because this is a reactive approach. To be proactive and make sure that we have teams of people in the community that can work with people who are struggling with mental health or addiction issues, and centers to bring them to, and a call line for that as well. And that's multiple elected officials, Councilman Creer and myself, Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Naft, Commissioner McCurdy, and state officials, hospitals, emergency responders, everyone working together to be proactive so that we are mitigating some of the challenges we're experiencing now.
And I should say, before the end of the program, we'll have all of the Mayor Pro Tem's contact information if you want to reach out, have questions on any of that. So, Branden Clarkson, Captain Clarkson, pleasure to have you on the program. Best of luck to you in the new job.
Thank you.
You're going to be great. I think we can already tell that. And anything that you need from the city, we're obviously going to help you.
Absolutely.
So we can partner
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much. And Mayor Pro Tem, we need to take another short break. But when we return, the Mayor Pro Tem and I are going to share some fun ways to stay out of the heat. That's after this.
If you've been affected by suicide, you're not alone. Suicide is a leading cause of death that affects millions each year. In most cases, it happens when stressful life events overload the coping abilities of someone suffering from a mental health condition. And the most common condition associated with suicide is depression, an illness that goes undiagnosed or untreated far too often. But the research is clear. Suicide is preventable if we work together. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has set a bold goal to reduce the annual suicide rate 20% by 2025. We can save tens of thousands of lives, but we need the help of everyday heroes like you. People have suffered in silence for too long, and too many families have had to weather their losses alone. You can change that. We need you to be the voice for suicide prevention, and it can be as simple as reaching out to a friend, because talk saves lives. If you're having thoughts of suicide, or if you're concerned about someone else, assume you are the only one who will reach out. You can also join hundreds of thousands across the country for our Out of the Darkness community walks and raise awareness of suicide within your community. Together, we'll bring hope to those affected by suicide and raise awareness to save lives. Learn how you can fight suicide. Visit afsp.org today.
Papa!
Welcome back, everyone. The summer heat prompted something very incredible. Brews with Brian had to be put on hold. Mayor Pro Tem, how could this possibly happen? It was a tradition.
It's too hot. Stay inside. Don't go outside. I had to take a break.
It has been brutal. It has been brutal.
It's been a rough summer, and June was amazing, and then it just hit. July and August have just been a lot. And so taking a break. Everyone needs a break every now and then. I'm still available. People can text and call and email, and then we'll start up again in a week or so, and we'll be ready to go and listening to all the issues and concerns. And
And it's interesting to note that the brews with Brian are both brews like beer brews and coffee brews. So depending on the time of day, we keep that very specific. But anyway, starting up again. Yeah, it was a little rough for anybody to be out doing anything in July and first part of August. But you know, we're getting back to it.
It'll be fine.
And we'll have his contact information before the end of the show. So if you have any questions in the meantime, you can reach out. Now, one thing that has not stopped, thank goodness, is our Garside pool. It's still in full swing because, man, we needed it this summer.
Yeah, kids love that place. The staff do a really great job, and really proud that it's in Ward 1, and grateful for the lifeguards that we have to watch everybody, and grateful for families that bring their kids there.
That's pretty cool. Look at all that stuff. You know, how could you not have fun there and stay cool at the same time?
Yep, super fun.
So Garside Pool, Mayor Pro Tem, for people that aren't familiar, where is it located roughly?
Right off of Torrey Pines. Let's see, if you take, I have to drive there, so I get off at the 95 at Jones and drive up Alta-ish, and then Torrey Pines there.
It's right there.
Yep.
Right, yeah, right in that area. So
right near Garside Middle School.
Garside Middle School, a very easy access right off. Look at that pool. What a great looking pool. And we got a little bit of everything there. You see we had the lanes for competitive swimming, plus all the fun splash pad kind of things.
It's fun for little kids and big kids too.
Yeah, yeah, got a little bit of everything going on there. So enjoy, because it's still pretty warm out there. And then, I love this, Charleston Heights Art Center, Rainbow Company Theater announced the season here a few weeks ago. First show up is Lord of the Flies.
Yes.
Not Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Flies, the classic. And auditions are going to be going on August 12th through 19th.
And this is for youth between the ages of 12 and 18. My son was in the summer camp, kind of getting kids ready. He's 7.5. So he had one line in the 2-minute segment of Lord of the Flies. He was very excited about it. For anybody who hasn't been, the children in this youth theater company just do an amazing job.
They really do.
They direct, they do the lighting, they do all the stuff on the stage, they do the acting, the singing, the dancing, and just really proud of the parents who let their children do this, and the children just do a fantastic job. It's good for anybody to see it.
It is, and you talk about a fun time. And Rainbow Company Theater has been around, well, ever since I came to Las Vegas. That's been many years ago. And it just thrives year after year after year after year. And the quality of the shows, the talent that comes through there, it's amazing.
The city's done a great job at cultivating it, and there's a separate group of parents that help keep it running.
Right.
There's concession stands. Everybody does a really great job. I'm super proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad it's going strong. We understand with the auditions for Lord of the Flies that some of you are going to see this after the auditions close, but hopefully some of you saw it beforehand because the show will air over that time period. So if you have a child between the ages of 12 and 18 interested in being a part of the theater, don't have to be an actor necessarily. You could be in any part of the production. Let us know. Sign that individual up, and off we'll go.
Yep.
So
Super fun.
A lot of fun. Well, Mayor Pro Tem, we are just about out of time, but as promised, we want to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you, so if there's something you'd like to share with Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem Knudsen, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. You can also contact him by calling 702-229-6405. We still use the phone around here. And you can also email the Mayor Pro Tem. His address is bknudsen, with an E, at lasvegasnevada.gov, and here or one of his great staff will get right back to you. You do have a great staff, good people that always are very responsive, as you are. So
It's the way it should be.
Exactly. That's what we're here for, right?
That's it. Yep.
So MPT, we'll see you back here in another 6 weeks with another update from Ward 1. It'll be cooler then.
It will be. I hope.
It will.
I really hope.
Fingers crossed. And in the meantime, keep up the good work. If you have any questions for the Mayor Pro Tem, that's how to find him. So anyway, folks, don't miss our next show beginning on August 24th with Ward 3 Councilwoman Olivia Diaz. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code during the closing credits of this show to subscribe to our newsletter. Also, don't forget you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thank you again for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time around.